And hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Monastery, the open bar of the internet, the world's greatest shit show, and the place where myself and my good brothers join together every week to laugh and shit talk. And this time, we've got a little something special. It's time for the grand return of the men who stare at Sportsball. I'm, as always, your one and only gaming monk, better known as Mildra, and the man who could probably lift Lord Stanley's cup one-handed. And with me, I have two of my good brothers, as we did before. We have the bane of NPCs and probably a better GM for the Blackhawks, good brother Aaron, and we have the one and only good brother Matty, who could probably do a better everything than the Senators.
Fuck yeah! Actually, I'm gonna keep my words on Nick until we actually talk about his beleaguered Ottawa Senator.
Same thing with the Hawks.
Whew, that's gonna be that's two can of worms we gotta open right there, man.
Yep.
And guts, sportsball is the generalized term. That's what I'm using with it, and I don't feel like changing that. Plus, it would kill the joke.
Yeah. Besides, we're making fun of sports here, not and slightly analyzing it. So,
yeah,
basically, we're the sports ball equivalent of OSW review with more salt.
Oh yes.
Yeah. But I'm happy the Bears actually had a dominant game for once, even though it's
actually had a good game for what? Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's against a trash Redskins team, but still.
By the way,
it builds up confidence.
By the way, I'd like to add to my statement about the Oakland Raiders and Antonio Brown by simply adding. Jesus Christ!
Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! You have fucked up now! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up!
Yeah, thanks, man.
Three teams. 3 fucking teams.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus H. Christ, bro. I'm going to echo urinary tree. Dear Antonio Brown, can he shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Please?
And think about these accusations that happen. Listen, normally I'm more like, whenever I hear someone make some silly accusation and of course the timing of it and there's a timing of it, I usually find it suspect, because that's my attitude towards Me Too shit happening these days. Okay, but even Antonio Brown had to fuck that up too.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out there were text message receipts, and you had to go ahead and you had to go dox one of your accusers. Huh?
So essentially, you Antonio Brown are proof that Me Too still needs to exist. Because for the 10 people who are wrongfully accused, you're the one that fucking thing is aimed at.
Yeah, really.
A broken clock is right twice a day. I'm not changing my stance on Me Too. I think the movement is dead because people saw it as a way to cheaply get themselves over.
Yeah, not only that,
and it's exactly what it is too. But at the same time, it was a grain of truth that led to a lot of people who are legitimate scumbags to be outed. Antonio Brown is just the latest victim of a very overrated hashtag.
Mm-hmm.
But
but the problem
he
is,
didn't help himself either.
It killed a guy, so yeah.
Yeah, we already covered that back on the regular show. But
yeah,
next week, aside from the fact that it's going to be busy as fuck for all of us, because I'm going to be doing TSR month next month. I feel really bad for you, Maddie. Oh,
That's
God.
why I'm glad. That's why I turned the TV off after at 10 o'clock. It's like, dude, I need sleep. I have work, and God damn it, I have a funeral next Friday, so that's gonna be something.
Oh,
For those who don't know, for context, my grandmother on my mother's side passed away last week, and I'm not gonna go
rest
into
in
too
the
much
chat,
detail.
guys. Rest in peace.
I've already went over the details, and some of the details I was allowed that I was told I could say, and this puts a pretty big wrinkle onto next week. Let's put it that way.
And Exia, I did get the joke. It's just bad timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so starting next week, we'll have the entire league, as well as whatever the hell we end up getting out of Seattle. I'm not sure when the expansion draft is going to happen. But it is going to happen.
Yeah.
But
It's just the team name's still up in the air.
All signs are pointing to the Kraken being the name.
Release the
Yes.
Kraken!
And that's what I would have
Seattle
gone
Kraken.
with because the memes would be glorious. I know Tree.
The memes will be glorious. But then again, you look at the Golden Knights. That was a shitty name, and guess what? They came this close to getting the Stanley Cup in their first shot. So
Well, they had
I reserve my laughter until after they fuck up.
they had to go
Yeah.
with that name actually because just Knights ran into legal problems.
Golden Knights. Yeah, because that's Golden Knights, brother. Can't do that.
They originally wanted to be the Las Vegas Knights, but they ran into a legal issue with that because there was another group that has much more pull that has that name locked down.
Much more pull. What is it, NFL?
I think it was the Army.
Oh.
Yeah.
So instead they went with Golden Knights. But that's neither here nor there, and we will get to the Knights later on. But much like we did with the NFL, we are going to be doing a bit of an assessment on each team in the NHL and see what their odds are of getting into the April fight.
All right.
Yep. Now, don't mind the stats, folk. But with this, the teams list was very unintuitive, and I find this one to look a lot better. Plus, you get to laugh at some of the stats from last year.
Oh, yeah.
Let's put it this way. For those wondering why we're not going on the team standing, go to nhl.com/info/teams or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Look it for yourself. It's we're trying to produce. Mildred's trying to produce a video show here, so let's we're trying to make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the Metropolitan Division in the Eastern Conference. Starting with Doku's favorite team, the Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
Who was the first major legacy of failure to get broken in the last few years. As far as how they ended up doing, they didn't do a whole lot of major moves in the off season.
Yeah.
And as far as and unlike in previous years, this wasn't an instance of them just choking it in the big games. Because flat out, Carolina was the better team that series.
Oh, definitely.
Pretty much. I mean, there's And there's no disputing that, sadly, for them. But again, first in the Metropolitan is nothing to sneeze at.
No.
And they have a solid team led by a guy who finally earned their cup. Last year was their grace period. Okay, we could celebrate, we could relax. Now, back to work, bitches. We want another cup.
Yeah. They were doing pretty good in the regular season. And the coaching change didn't quite screw them over as much as people might have thought. The issue for me is, are they going to be able to get back to the form that they were 2 years ago? If they can get back into that, then they're going to have a deep run. I still miss the Penguins memes. God damn it!
I agree. I think there's a good chance they'll make it back to they'll get a deep playoff run. But
they got a good enough team to make the playoffs in the first place. That the question now becomes, how deep will it go? Again, this might be a case of injuries. The injury gods might play devil's advocate.
Yeah, if the injury fairy comes to visit, they're fucked.
Especially if that ends up hitting Ovi.
Oh, that would be.
Let's put it this way: if they stay relatively healthy throughout the season, they might have a deep cup run. I don't think if they do get injured, it's a case of it's the timing of it. In that case,
yeah,
if for whatever reason, and I do not wish injury on any hockey player at all. Like I do not wish any injury onto professional wrestlers. That just fucking sucks. If it happens to Ovi, it depends on timing and of course the severity of the injury. If he's still returnable by the end of the season, they could still get a cup run in there, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna put it this way: if anything unfortunate happens to Washington, I'm blaming Mia Khalifa.
Good call. Good fucking call.
That is a very good call.
Actually, that's what we should say about every team.
Every team
Mia
from
Khalifa's
Washington.
fault.
I would say every team from Washington.
Yeah, I can go with that perfectly. So
call it the Mia Khalifa curse.
So next we have the New York Islanders, who now correct me if I'm wrong, but they're still planning on moving to Belmont. Huh?
That's the thing. They don't belong at fucking Barclays.
No, they should have stayed in the Nassau Memorial Coliseum.
Yeah,
it's closer to the fan base. It has much better quality of ice, and is actually built for hockey.
Yeah.
Barclays is a wonderful arena. It is not good for hockey.
No.
Let's leave it at that.
It was meant for basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of that, you have issues of sight lines and inconsistent ice. Now, normally I had been used to the Islanders being trash. This year was the exception, and I think it's solely due to the fact that Garth Snow was shown the door.
Good. Yeah, because Snow had to go.
Now, unfortunately, Charles Wang is still around, but he hasn't done anything too stupid yet.
Yeah, watch. The minute we say that, he's going to do something universally stupid.
It's like Eugene Melnick. The key word is yet.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out. If they can maintain form like they did this time around, they might have some chances. But they need to maintain that moment. They need to maintain momentum. They were very close to. There were plenty of times where they were in a neck and neck fight for first in the Metro with the Caps. So if they can keep that competitive, then they'll have a chance. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to say just yet.
Yeah. personally, what I think the Islanders need to do, they need to reconsider where they're going to be playing. Because, like I said, I don't know what's going. You mentioned a move to Belmont. I don't know what that's going to do for them. It'll be close to the fan base, but it ain't going to be Nassau.
No, they should have stayed in Nassau.
I mean, surely they should have figured it out when they had their playoff game over in Nassau, and they were like a much different team.
Mm-hmm. But moving past the Islanders, it's time to talk about the fucking Penguins.
Yep.
I feel bad for urinating Tree. There's going to be a lot of salt this year, man.
Okay,
It's the decline.
I'm gonna be honest. I do not see the Penguins even sniffing the postseason.
I agree.
And it's all because of JR making really, really stupid moves after that hit on Crosby.
Yeah, really.
And because
they're not. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same trajectory as the Red Wings and even the Blackhawks to a certain extent. I think it's come to the point where cap hell is starting to close in on them.
Yeah,
and now it looks like you're gonna be in the outs for the next season or two.
Mm-hmm. I actually think that second cup run that they had the other year might have done more damage because it might have reinforced this idea that even when our team looks bad, we can still stumble our way into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But then again, this is the same people. This is the same team that thought Dan Bilesma was a good idea.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the Pens are going older and older and older when they should be getting younger.
More importantly,
they're going to hit cap hell, and eventually Crosby's going to go, "Where's my paycheck? Or where's my cup? Or where's the door?"
Yeah, exactly.
More importantly, the Pens seem to be regressing into thinking that it's the mid 1980s.
Oh boy. Well, look at this. Well, look at it this way, Pens. Look at the bright side. You're not turning into a boys' club, or are they?
I don't know if they are just yet, but the only boy there is JR.
Yep.
And next,
he gotta go. Oh yeah.
Actually, Aaron, do you have the music?
Yes, I do. All right, I'm hitting it right now.
Do it.
We're finally back. We actually made the playoffs this year. We have things this time around. Fuck Pornhub. The only thing you should be coming to are our games.
Come to our games. Come to our games.
Carolina. Can you believe 2 years ago we thought they were dead in the water, and now they're one of the biggest underdogs of last year.
Yeah, the meme, they were a laughable meme, and that meme has mutated.
It's mutated into an incredible Hulk that is Carolina, and they're fucking back. In fact, 3 words: deep cup run. Conference finals. That's my call.
I could see them heading to second or third round, especially given the fact that every time they end up winning a game, I'm pretty sure Burke is crying salty tears.
So hold on. Speaking of salty tears, Cubs are losing to the Pirates.
The fucking
Fire
Pirates.
Joe Madden. Losing to the fucking Pirates. Joe Madden's fired. He's done.
Oh, and bottom of the seventh, the Mets are losing to the Marlins. Yet another successful Metting.
Yeah,
Yes.
successful Madden.
Oh, wait. It's another successful Metting. Or another successful dick kick to the Marlins. Your
Yeah,
pick.
really. So
Yep.
anyway, getting back to Raleigh.
Roller.
The only okay, putting the memes aside, and the fact that I'm proud that they actually managed to come out like this, and
Yeah.
I blame it solely on the change in ownership. The only real issue that I have is whether or not they can fix goaltending, because that is their major problem.
Yeah.
Like
Their goaltending is ass.
they've got decent offense and defense. It's just that their goaltending is really inconsistent. If they can't fix that, I don't see them going far.
Yeah, they'll get back to like, yeah. If they fix their goaltending, if they don't fix it, yeah. The furthest I see them go is conference final.
Yeah, they're not ready for the Stanley Cup yet, but they might get there. Which is more than I can say
Yeah.
for the least successful franchise in the entire fucking league, Columbus.
Oh, Columbus. Yeah.
Bobrovsky, you're off the case.
Well,
Sorry, I
I
gotta
hate to say-
go Jay on. I gotta go Jay on right on. That's a hell of a running gag.
Yep.
well, Columbus. Yeah. You put in an effort. This was your last season was your all-in season. 2 words is described this coming season. You're fucked.
Yeah.
During the whole, I think there were like 4 or 5 other top players ended up fucking off into greener pastures. They may have had a chance at better retainment if they had won one more series and didn't get swept.
Yeah.
But I do want to give them a heartfelt thanks for allowing us to laugh at the Blue Jackets. Laugh at the Lightning. What the hell am I saying?
Yeah.
We'll get to them shortly.
Oh yes.
Give Columbus this. They fucking earned that series win. They fucking earned it.
Mm-hmm. But it may be the last for a few years, because what I see right now is their opportunity slamming shut, and they're starting to sell off pieces.
Yeah.
It's the smart move to it's the smart move to do. They're a small market. They're not gonna have as much money, and cap hell is a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I said, yep. They are going tanking.
And let me check something. Now, for the next one, it's time to laugh at Philly, because the only good Philadelphian is a dead one. And I want to point out that now, unfortunately, they haven't been posting as much. But there was a Twitter account called Sense Flyers Last Cup that was counting how many days it's been since the Flyers last won a cup.
Okay.
There's the salt.
Oh God. Hold on. Let me see.
And
Hey, can you post that link on the council? I want to see this.
Oh, do so.
oh, I've got better. I've got the site proper.
Oh.
So let me put that in. There you go.
Oh,
Stop.
boy.
It has been
Losers since 75.
Yep, it has been 16,191 days since the Flyers last won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah. I bet you they're
And it
still
keeps-
yeah.
And
I
it's
bet you
just
they're-
like the Energizer Bunny. It
It
keeps
keeps
going and
going
going
and
and going and going.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad. You should thank us Blackhawks. You should thank the Blackhawks for shutting them up back in 2010.
Oh, I very much am, and friends don't let friends make let the Flyers make contracts because they pulled some really dumb moves, and because of that, I do not see them making the playoffs. I think they are going to be
Yeah.
I think they are going to be holding their nuts once again in the offseason.
Yeah. Mark, they're and the sad part is they're not gonna be in the bottom of the list. So they're in the worst spot they can be. And that spot is mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna have a winning season, but not a playoff winning season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next we have the New York Rangers, who are still in the middle of their long-term rebuild, and the continued racing career of King Henrik. They did get a bit of a piece after the Blue Jackets decided to sell off pieces.
By the way, does Dolan own that team too?
Let me check.
Do the Google.
Let's see. Owner is
James fucking Dolan.
Sell the team, Dolan! While you're at it, sell the Knicks too.
Yeah. With the problem with the Rangers is that they have this habit of shooting themselves in the dick, repeatedly every single year.
Of course, it's owned by Dolan.
And I think,
and you know what the funny part is? He's not the worst owner in the NHL. Ooh, we're gonna get to that guy later.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Now, with the, I think this is going to be another case where the Rangers aren't making it, because
Nope. They're tanked.
They're still tanking, and I just don't. I see a lot of prospects, but nothing that's going to congeal at the postseason level.
Yeah.
So I see, and the thing is, they're not going to be losing enough to get a top draft pick.
So they're in mediocrity.
Yeah, they're not going to be losing enough to lose properly.
Yeah, they can't lose properly because Dolan's gonna want them to win games.
Yeah, how can you win with that squad? Come
Look,
on.
there used to be a time where you could have a shit team protected by a decent goaltender and manage to win games. That time has been gone for at least a decade.
Yeah.
What wins games these days is speed. But speaking of people,
don't got any of it.
Speaking of people who lost, let's talk about the Devils. After getting completely blown out of the water, they ended up winning out on the draft lottery this year. And
it's something.
And because of that, they decided to start spending money.
Oh boy.
Which
I don't think this is a good move. Because now you're gonna have expensive ass players. You're probably gonna be straddling 500, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna bite you in the ass in a couple years, thanks to cap hell.
Yeah. What I see when it comes to the Devils is boom or bust. They made
Yeah.
they made some moves that on paper are impressive. And would almost be considered off-season champions because of that. But you know how it is
Almost.
with off-season champions.
They usually don't pan out in their first season. Sometimes they do in the long run, but yeah, but it's either
we've seen some boom or bust teams win out, but it's a case of everything has to go right. And in hockey, that is a tough proposition.
Yeah, so they can go two ways. They can go Blackhawks circa late 2000s.
That's the example of it going right.
Or Prellerpalooza.
The example of when keeping it real, when keep going all in goes wrong.
Yep.
The boom or bust is appropriate. It's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Devils are ready. They're not ready to go boom or bust.
Yeah, it's either Blackhawks Dynasty or Prellerpalooza. This is a tough call.
Okay.
They're going to be it's going to be mediocrity, and it's not going to be enough.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm leaning towards Prellerpalooza.
Yep. So when it comes to the Metro, who's your two that you'd be picking that are going to be vying for that division at the end of the season?
All right, who are you starting with?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Sure.
I am leaning to one of them is probably going to be the Hurricanes. On the other end, it's either going to be Washington or the New York Islanders.
Yeah. Well, I'll go next. Yeah, I agree. I think one of them is definitely Carolina, but I'm going to go with Islanders because listen, Washington, there's just a little too many question marks. It's an older team, so we'll see what happens in the season. But I got a feeling they're going to get the Mia Khalifa curse. So I'm picking Islanders in Carolina.
All right.
Carolina for me. Right now, it's a toss between Washington and New York Islanders, honestly. But I'm leaning towards Islanders, but that ice better be good, or it's gonna fuck them up.
Oh yeah.
I can't go full all in on Islanders because of that, but
yeah,
like I said earlier, deep cup run, Carolina.
Yeah, not to disgrace Washington. I mean, yeah, they could.
No. If we're being honest, Washington, New York Islanders, Carolina, playoff run. I think we can easily say that's an easy prediction there.
Mm-hmm.
As far as just winning the division, it's a toss-up. I think the safest bet, for the three of us, is Carolina for the division. Beyond that, fair game.
So next we have the Atlantic Division, and let's start.
Oh,
and hang it.
Someone get the laughing track going.
Oh yeah. The fucking useless Lightning.
Hold on. Let's get MJF on this.
Let me get the tweet before you do that. We don't have any words, and we know you don't want to hear them. We understand your anger, your frustration, your sadness, everything you're feeling. We get it. This isn't the ending we imagined, and certainly not the one we wanted. Thank you for being there the entire way.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Ah. For those wondering, that's Shawn Michaels laughing at Jonathan Coachman. Just replace Jonathan Coachman to the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's us. That Shawn Michaels, that's us.
Oh,
Look,
I mean,
Tampa, the sad thing is, you are probably the best team in Florida right now.
yeah.
God damn it, it's a 2-hour show. We'd have no, I can't.
Oh my God.
Am I wrong?
God.
You're not wrong
No, it's
there.
funny because it's fucking true. That's what it is. That's the sad part.
Like let's look at who else they have. The Rays are still in a pissing match over Tropicana Field, and they stink again. The Panthers, we'll get to them later. And the Dolphins, no insult I can come up with can properly express the pain that they're dealing with.
If they go 0-16, that's going to be the cherry on top.
Oh, good Lord! They're still winless, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh fuck!
That's what happens. That's what happens when you sign Fitzception.
But here's the problem. I think after this last season, I think we can officially say that the Washington Capitals have effectively retired as playoff chokers. That position is now, and until they get replaced, in the hands of Tampa Bay.
Oh, definitely.
Because, well, first off, for whatever reason, Steven Stamkos disappears whenever it's go time. And same with Ian White. And I think there was, not Ian White, but I think there was one other person who decided to be a fucking idiot and do one of the most blatant dirty hits I've ever seen.
Oh.
But you managed to tie the league record for wins, and you get blown the fuck out by the least successful franchise in the league.
Mildred, do not make me hit the HBK button again. Don't.
No, I'm just saying. No, not HBK. MJF.
Yeah, MJF.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Let me get that. There we go.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God, you're such a loser, dude. Oh, shit, wait.
Oh, my God.
Here's the thing. There is a good... I know that Tree has said that they need to blow up their core. They do have good pieces in their core. The problem is, John Cooper is shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I get the feeling that unless they get their situation fixed quickly, they're gonna have a repeat of what happened last year.
Yeah,
you know what it is? You know what it is? It's a weird game of crocodile dentist.
Yeah. So
The answer is yes, do get rid of some of that core. But the question becomes, which part? Which part keeps the team alive, and which one takes your hand off?
Yeah, really. So until you figure this out, Tampa Bay, this is your theme song.
Then put your little hand in mine.
Every season, this is what's going to happen to you.
Babe. I got you, babe.
Don't forget to put on your booties because it's going to be cold out there.
Yep.
Ironically, in Tampa Bay, which is fucking hot right now. So
But here's but here's the deal, Tampa Bay. Yeah, you're going to make the playoffs. It's just a matter if you're going to choke.
Yeah. Oh God! I'm choking again. I'm choking it. That's you. That's you.
Exactly.
Mhm. So next we have the most arrogant motherfuckers in the entire NHL.
Oh, God.
Boston
Oh
Bruins.
my God!
Another
yeah.
fucking Boston team. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to take a cold shower after this. Okay, Boston. First off, stop blaming the officials like a little bitch, and and second off, you are still a one-line team who is depending on Tuukka, and you probably would have won Game 7 if it weren't for the fact that Tuukka Rask was the only one who bothered to show up.
Yeah. And 3, Cam Neely, stop throwing water bottles.
Please.
Okay?
No.
Stop
Keep
throwing
going.
water bottles. Stop throwing water bottles like Lloyd Christmas threw that damn salt shaker your direction.
No, Aaron. You got to do it right. You got to keep throwing the bottles. The memes demand it.
Also, at the very least, we haven't heard any repeat offenses from Brad Marchand licking people.
Oh my
Oh
god.
God.
Yeah.
Look, I'm perfectly fine with some troll play and having a player who likes getting under the opponent's skin, but I draw
It's
the
gamesmanship. What? People remember that stick waving thing from like 10 years ago? I think it was one of the Rangers at the time. I'm like, dude, it's gamesmanship. It's like, do whatever you want to do to fucking win.
Mhm.
There's Manny, there's gamesmanship and then there's cringe.
Okay, that was cringy, but at least it fucking worked. Once.
Yeah. But is it possible that Boston makes the playoffs? Yes, and they're probably going to be probably going to be the spoiler. They'd be the equivalent of the Big Show in a battle royal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be lucky if they get back to the Stanley Cup. But until then, expect Cam Neely to go full sea bass.
Yeah.
Yep. I forgot about Cam Neely. God damn it.
But again, the problem is now yeah, they turned themselves around from being borderline boys club hell.
Dude, they are a boys club. They just got lucky. They just got fucking
I
lucky.
agree.
The problem is they're still a one-line team, and one-line teams don't last.
No. Especially if one part of that team fucks off or gets injured. There's the high possibility of that.
Mm-hmm.
So next it's time for the hockey equivalent to the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh
God.
god.
Damn it.
Leafs.
Yes. God.
Fucking Leafs.
Stuff. Did I mention on my Twitter that there will be salt? that might be salt? Yeah, here it is now. The fucking Leafs made the playoffs and my Habs didn't. What the fucking fuck?
I think
again.
the thing that I found absolutely hilarious was when I can't remember if it was on TSN or some other website, but there was just a headline that said, "Sorry everybody, it looks like the only hope for the
I think it was TSN actually. Yeah.
Well, look at this way, Toronto. You did win an NBA. You did win a ring.
Yeah, the Raptors did. You fucking yeah. And guess what? I'm a Raptors fan. That's the most positive thing I'll say about Toronto. Fuck the Leafs.
Yeah.
Look, their chances of making any sort of deep run is going to depend entirely on whether or not they end up facing Boston. If they face Boston, they're screwed because Boston has been kryptonite to them for the last, I'd say, since 2013, maybe even before then.
At least, yeah. And again, and putting away all bias, god damn it, it'll be hard to do so, but I got to for it to be fairly analytical here, boys. So pray for me. They still have a good team.
Oh yeah, they do.
Again, it's scary how good the team is. It's a case of can they deliver, and they almost did last year, and then like any other team, they choked. But that
they ran
that first
Boston.
round fucked a whole lot of brackets up last year. So,
but look at it this way. Who knows? But hey, even if they do run into Boston, and who's to say they'll beat? Who's to say that they'll actually beat them? Shit, it happened with the Capitals and the Penguins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is where it's like they're still a good enough team to make the playoffs. You know what? This year, next year, by this time next year, we'll be laughing about the fact that Boston finally choked against the Leafs. You don't know.
Yep.
That's how good the Leafs team actually is. That's the scary part.
Just if I can give a message, Nazem Kadri, stop being a fucking idiot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a number one.
I mean, seriously,
if
that wall hit he ended up doing in the playoffs. There is no place for that in hockey.
No.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the coach in for the Leafs again. God damn it, I always do.
But with Toronto, if they pull something out of their ass, there's going to be biblical levels of salt.
For both Sens and Habsleys. But Babcock. If I'm Babcock, I'm going to Cadre going, if you're a fucking idiot, you're skating down the rink 1,000 goddamn times. No Gatorade.
Yeah, I'd be perfectly fine with that. And now it's time for us to do the annual tradition of mocking Bergevin.
Oh,
yeah.
Bergevin. The only thing holding the Canadians back. But hey, I'll give Bergevin this. You did pull one over Bowman. That's something.
Yeah.
Now,
and again, it's he keeps getting in his own way, but he still builds teams that are decent. It's just there's no two ways about it. They're in the rebuild, obviously.
Yeah,
he micromanages. He's like Joe Madden.
Yeah,
I do think a lot of people are going to be really, really pissed at him for that RFA stunt he pulled.
Oh God.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a classic Bergevin mood.
Yep, and guess what, boys? They still are.
And I think what makes the whole thing even better is the fact that even with trying to pull tendering a contract to a restricted free agent, they didn't get him because Carolina decided to match the contract.
Whoops.
Oh.
So
nice try, Bergevin, but you failed on that one.
Effectively, they tried to pull a power play maneuver, and it blew up in their face.
Yep.
I do see a lot of pieces in there that are certainly improving, but I said this last year, and I'm going to say it again. They're not ready for a cup run. Maybe in 2 years, but not yet.
Yeah, the Canadians.
I could easily call playoff potential, but beyond the first round, I can't.
But here's the problem: they got a leg iron attached to that team, and that leg iron is Bergevin.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they can use that puppy as a motivational factor.
Hey, you know what? Puppies are always a good idea. Puppies are good.
Yeah, it worked for
right, Jerry Lawler. Yep. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
So next we've got the Florida Panthers.
Oh, here's the only good news for you, Florida. You got Coach Q. Congratulations.
However, Florida went into really bad desperation mode because they have been changing identities like regular people change pants.
Yeah. Now, the good news is, they got Coach Q. Here's the bad news. What does this say about Florida? are they going to try to copy? They're going to attempt to copy the early 2010s Hawks.
Well, they may as well. I wouldn't put it past them because they've already tried copying 2 different identities in the years previous. So, not saying they're going to do it. I'm just saying if they did, if someone told me that they did, I would be willing to believe it. Because there's already a precedent set for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the good news, Florida. You don't have to put up with Bowman
Anymore.
Yeah, I do get the feeling that if they don't at least make first round, somebody's getting fired in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So we'll see.
Yeah, those
we'll
analytical, those stat watchers that run the team. Yeah, they gotta go.
So next we have Buffalo, who did really good for Buffalo did really good for the first 4 months, and then everything shit the bed.
Yeah.
And
Shit went Buffalo.
And now they've decided to throw all the money at Jeff Skinner.
This is gonna bite him in the ass.
I don't understand why they gave him a 6-year deal, because to be honest, Jeff Skinner's not that good.
Yeah, the only thing Buffalo's gonna get is cap hell, because if you're gonna pay him that much money, everyone else is gonna ask for more money.
I sense, gentlemen, that this is the toppling of the first domino. Now, I don't know what that's going to lead to. I don't know if it means it's the first domino towards a cup run or the first domino to tank bowl, but it's the first domino. It's the first thing. Call it a gut feeling.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, but like I said, this is Buffalo, so
Yeah,
I think this is the first domino to hell.
Yeah, so I don't have high hopes for Buffalo. Much like I don't exactly get hyped on Buffalo teams in general.
Yeah, really.
So, and next we have the Fallen Empire in Detroit.
Oh yeah.
To quote Barnard Gumble, don't cry for me. I'm already dead.
Well, here's the thing with Detroit. As long as you have front office problems, you're not going anywhere.
They seem to. The only thing that's giving me a slimmer of long range hope for Detroit, and it's definitely not going to manifest this year, is Stevie taking the job that he should have taken years ago.
Yeah, that's going to be a case of will this pay off long term, or will this be a case of too little, too late?
If it might be a too little, too late, but it's a case of it's not the worst thing. Stevie Y did build Team Canada from 2010.
Yeah,
He built a few. He's built good hockey teams before.
Mm-hmm.
That's a quality. That's a quality that's important. Obviously,
yeah.
this is going to be a case of it will not happen now. It will probably not happen. If we're generous, probably in the next 2 years.
So you're thinking?
I don't know if he's straight up tanking, but Detroit is on a rebuild.
He does seem to be playing long. He does seem to be playing long range chess.
Yeah. And
so
he should.
So you're thinking that you're thinking it's going to be the same way he was during the player when Cup wins evaded him until he got that one. Then all of a sudden he started winning 2 and 3 cups and shit. Yeah.
It might be that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see, but it's not going to be a very nice year for them this year.
It's not.
Yeah.
That is, to Detroit, I apologize. It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, but hey, at least there's a light at the end. You're starting to see a bit of a hint of a light at the end of the tunnel, but don't worry. The worst is almost over.
The positives will pile up. It'll be a long-term deal.
Uh-huh.
So the last part of the Atlantic we have is
We're a team! Fucking Melnick!
the Senators.
You
Yeah.
thought remember I said that Dolan wasn't the worst owner in hockey?
Because the worst
This is
owner
why.
in hockey is Eugene motherfucking Melnick.
That's why.
Hey, does someone who has the salt as a way of life button?
I don't have it.
That'd be me. Let me load up my soundboard.
Yeah, because guess what? This is Ottawa right now.
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
Oh, God.
He had, flashback to a couple of years ago, Centennial Game, Parliament Hill. Well, I think I need to move because the fans. I was like, shut the fuck up, you fucking fuck. We're trying to have fun and you're being old man Melnick. when you're fucking lackey, a cheeseburger eating lackey says we're a team in fear of not losing his fucking ass over a kettle over your fucking old ass. Fuck you, Melnick. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, and by the way, fuck you. Something is wrong.
I want to see wall-to-wall Melnick out signs at the tire center.
Fuck that.
No.
Fuck the signs. You know what I need to see? A fucking effigy. Burn the motherfucker in effigy.
No. This fucker had an arena plan, and he fucked it up. You know what you do? Folks, to anyone who is local to Ottawa who think, oh, the Sens are going to be good, don't. Be honest with yourself. Go to the 67s games. They're better. And run by a better hockey coach.
Oh, 60s. Oh, what's that? A minor?
The Ottawa 67s, the minor league, the CHL team, the OHL CHL team. Yeah.
Yeah. And
under a better arena, mind I add.
Yeah, so you're saying basically there needs to be some empty scenery.
Leave that fucking building empty.
I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
If
gonna
Melnick
be.
wants to move, let's give him a reason. Yeah, we'll lose the hockey team. It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. But you know what? He did it to himself. That's the difference. He pushed the fan base away. He pushed the good hockey players away. He fucked up Daniel Laffertson's fucking career. You know what? This is the messy part of the divorce. The Senators should move. There, I said it. Because as long as Melnick owns the Senators, that team's gonna suck.
The only person who's stuck on the Senators who I have the least bit of sympathy for is Matt Hoffman. And that's because it wasn't his fault. It's not his fault that his girlfriend decided to be an idiot.
A fucking idiot, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, how about this? Have Ottawa and Phoenix swap teams. That'll work.
Yeah, that wouldn't do much good because they're gonna be moving to Dallas in a few years.
Yeah.
Dallas? Don't Dallas have their own team?
Can't remember if it
Oh, you
was
mean Houston?
No, yeah, it was Houston. I don't think they. Which, if they move there, maybe they should rename themselves the Oilers just for the salt factor. But we already have an Oilers.
But here's the problem, though. We have Edmonton. We have the Edmonton Oilers who might get extra salty.
Oh, we'll get to those guys later, though.
Oh, yes, we will.
all in all,
Yeah, by the way, I don't say what I just said at a sense of I'm a Habs fan. Yeah, I'm a Habs fan, but I'm a transplant here, and I've always had the thought of I don't care who wins as long as the Leafs lose. Guess what? The Leafs are winning. The Habs are doing and Ottawa is pretty much is turning into a factory of sadness.
Oh God.
As much shit as Bettman gets, I really hope there ends up being a case where he ends up forcing some kind of new ownership.
Oh, you're hoping
he does, and we eventually win the cup. I am not booing.
So you're saying that Bettman might might do something that they did with Purina back in the 80s.
If it gets to the point of legit movement threats or contraction, yes.
Yeah, Bettman's gonna they'll Purina his ass.
Besides, it wouldn't be the first time that he had blocked a move, because he did that with the Penguins back in the late 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the Atlantic is looking to be not the strongest division, because the only teams that I see going anywhere in that are, unfortunately, Toronto, Boston, and Tampa Bay. And between them, it's as much as I hate to say it, it's gonna be Tampa Bay and Boston. Toronto is approaching cap hell, so I don't see that happening with them.
I don't know. Maybe this could light a fire under Toronto, and you know what? If God hates us and they're boosting the fucking Cowboys, they might as well go for the whole hog and put Toronto and Boston. But then again, we'll be left. But hell, allow us to laugh at Tampa Bay.
I think
it'll give us at least.
I think it's going to be Tampa Bay and Boston.
Boys, this is going to sound sacrilegious to you guys, and I know I know the words coming out of my mouth are exactly this. Fuck, I think Tampa's going to choke before they even try to get a chance to choke.
Oh,
I'm calling Boston Toronto. I'm calling Boston Toronto.
That's some avant-garde shit there.
I mean, look, I'm not predicting a strong cup run on either team. Maybe the most likely will be Boston, but we've slept on Toronto for too long, and they got a good team.
Yeah.
So, and Ottawa is going to be in a constant rebuild / factory of sadness, and Montreal's not ready yet.
Yeah, everyone else is just either mediocre or they're 3 years away from having something, especially when it comes to Detroit.
Detroit and Montreal. Montreal got surprisingly close to playoff contention last year. They might make the playoffs, but that's a big fucking maybe.
Yeah, it depends on who. Mm-hmm. It depends on whether Tampa Bay, Boston, or Toronto shit the bed. It's got to be at least two of the three.
Yeah,
2 of the 3 have to shit the bed before we say, "Hey, go Habs, go in the playoffs again."
Yeah,
but though they've pulled something out of their ass last year. They got a team going.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if they can keep that team going.
Yeah,
and I just checked up on the game between the Mets. It's now bottom of the ninth, and it's fucking tied.
Good God. That's why you thought we pulled a successful meeting. They pulled some magic picking us on our
successful meeting.
If this ends up going to extra innings and they end up actually winning, this will be in. Is this metting so hard that you end up unmetting?
Oh my God!
We met so hard, we actually unmetted.
It might be because it's so goddamn bad it goes right back up to the 10. It's so fucking good.
But next
It's like
next we have the Western Conference. And we're starting off with the Central Division. And for the top of it, we're going to Music City, boys.
oh boy.
We're going to Smashville.
Ooh, yeah.
Smashville took a massive hit by losing out on PK Subban.
Yeah.
And
they're on the decline.
I think now first off,
Super player. He's been up. He was a power player in Montreal. He was a power player in Nashville. Where is he landing now?
let's see. See, PK Subban is part of the Devils now.
Oh.
Ooh.
So he's part of the Boomer Bust squad.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're going all in.
Yeah.
He probably would have stayed on the
Nashville,
Canadiens if it weren't for the. Oh.
Yeah, he would have stayed on the. Yeah, but of course, Bergevin happened.
Yep. But look, unfortunately, we cannot say that Pekka Rinne is too good right now because for starters, the Nashville needs to fix their damn power play. If they can't do that, they don't have a chance.
Absolutely.
PK
was a big part of that power play, but of a power player of power play, but ooh, that's a big fucking X right there.
That window is starting to it's closing fast.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Their best shot was a few years ago when they went against the Penguins and they lost. That was their best shot.
Yes.
But so I expect them to regress this season.
Especially since
make
they're
the playoffs,
once again
but barely.
their major problem is coaching.
Yeah.
But next we have the Winnipeg Jets. And
now, unlike Nashville, I think their window is opening.
Even with all the pieces that they had to give up, that's an interesting problem.
Yeah,
did they go through cap hell? Did they go through cap hell?
They're going through cap hell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're fucked then.
Yeah, I'm like, they might be able to, but right now they are in cap hell.
Yeah, they'll barely make the playoffs, just like I said, like with Nashville. But like I said, their chances are not as good because, again, like you said, cap hell.
Yeah, it's like maybe we were all wrong about whether or not they had washed off the Atlanta stink.
Yeah, I think they're going to need a tomato bath.
I'd say they got 9, but that 90% is the source. That 10% is the source.
Yeah, they're going to need a tomato bath for this one. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They might make it, but if you're going through cap hell, you got no choice. Blow it up.
Mm-hmm. And next, well, Alexia, play Gloria.
Boy. Here we
Oh boy!
Because now we have the feel-good story of last season in the defending champion St. Louis Blues.
Yes.
All right, you can cut it because YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Now, first off, I want to point out that the best thing that happened after that win was seeing Brett Hull being Brett Hull.
Yeah. Brett Hull shit-faced. Forward, right there. Yeah. Woo! Another good feel-good story that I read after they won was that kid with I don't know if it's the Make-A-Wish kid, but that kid, that little girl on the ice lifting the cup with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
That's another feel-good moment right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Now, what? Go ahead.
During the off season, they more or less stood pat and didn't do a whole lot.
With good reason.
They got a good team. If everyone's in place for a while, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. Now here's the thing with St. Louis. This season, I think their window's open. Their window just freaking went wide open. I would not be surprised if St. Louis is the next decade's Hawks.
Wow, you're going that deep?
That's a bold move. That's a bold
Yeah,
strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
And I say this,
Yeah.
and I say this as a Hawks fan. Ugh.
That had to hurt.
If St. Louis ends up building a dynasty, it's deserved.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't think we'll have any disagreement with that.
Mm-hmm.
After being
they got excellent team that they have a good team that started off in the worst possible way possible to get a deep run the way they did. A lot of things had to go right. A lot of things had to go right for them to even get a sniff at the cup, much less get it.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a good team. So
they deserve it because after being almost sent to Saskatoon and being fucking beaten to death by Purina.
Yep.
And then also getting their ass kicked constantly by the Hawks. But they deserve it. We had our shit. We had our fun.
Celebratory drink for the Blues.
Oh, definitely.
I'm still not letting that sliced bagel thing go, though.
Oh,
definitely. Yeah. No.
Oh, no.
No. The only way you slice a bagel is when you slice it in half, and that's it.
Yeah. Put cream cheese on it. That's about it.
Yeah.
But next, it is time to examine The Fault in Our Stars.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh, boy. Good book. Shit hockey team.
Yep.
How do you think I feel? They used to be from my neck of the woods.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah, the North Stars.
Extra salt on them fries, please.
Yep.
I don't see this team going anywhere because they are still a fucking soap opera. You once again have a case of a one-line team, but unlike Boston, your line isn't even good enough to carry the rest of the team. And instead of trying to fix this, the coach decides to try and grandstand to the media about how it's fucking horseshit.
Oh, God! I think your tree should make that and a weekly soap opera as well.
Because I have no optimism whatsoever for the Stars. I think that, and the worst part, they're not going to lose at losing. They're going to be mediocre.
Oh yeah. They might make the playoffs, but you know what? Yeah, you're not going. Even if you do make the playoffs, you're out of here in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Which next brings us to Colorado.
Oh boy!
I honestly think Colorado's contention window is still open.
Oh, definitely.
I think they still have enough pieces to. I don't know if they're going to get to the Stanley Cup, but I definitely think that they'll be making another deep playoff run.
Yeah, they'll be contenders they'll be division contenders. Might get past second round. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But of course,
I'm hating X on this on the Avalanche.
Yeah, but anyway, fuck you, Crunky.
Yep.
Yep.
But now it's time for Aaron to give us a bit of salt because it's time to talk about the Blackhawks.
Speaking of fuck you,
boy.
fuck you, Bowman.
How's that
Drove Coach Q out of.
How's that purge
You drove
working out for
Coach
you?
Q out of town. Your ass needs to go. If you fuck up, and you will fuck up this season, your ass is gone. Gone. We're not going to have another jag-off that ruined the team like Bill Wirtz did before he passed on. Fuck Stan Bowman. Get the fuck out of here, you jag-off.
Okay, Bowman aside, and
Bowman aside. Jeez, Aaron, you sure you're sure you're letting it all out there? I don't sense a hostility here.
Oh, this team ain't going no. I'm gonna say it right now. I don't give a fuck what you did in the offseason. Until Bowman's gone, you ain't making it. You still got tithes to pay.
yeah,
And your tithes will be paid if you get rid of Bowman.
it's either going to be that or it's going to be a case of getting fucked by the injury gods. That's how this game works.
Yeah, the
Usually,
injury
yeah.
fairy. Fucking injury fairy. But if the injury fairy comes, I'm blaming Bowman.
Oh, definitely.
That'll work. Yeah, I don't see them making it. Maybe at best, first round elimination.
Yeah. Get rid of Bowman, then we'll talk playoffs.
Next, we've got.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate the salt that will come from the monk because now it's his turn.
I feel very sorry for you, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with fucking Barbecue Bruce.
Barbecue Bruce is the least
Bruce,
of our
bottom of the Central. I feel bad for you.
Barbecue Bruce is the least of our problems. He is certainly one of them, and I still have no fucking idea why they thought hiring a guy who got thrown out of both the Capitals and the Ducks was a good idea.
Yeah.
But there's also the fact that we are still paying for July 1st, not July 1st, but July 4th all those years ago.
Oh yeah,
Because one half of that deal has regressed horribly, and the other half has certainly not, and has been carrying the whole thing to the point that when he got injured a couple years ago, we ended up shitting the bed. But I would not be surprised if in a few years I end up seeing a Legacy of Failure video on the Wild from Tree.
Well, there's only 3 words I can say to you. Blow it up!
Also,
if you can.
I need to say this right now. Fuck you, Fenton. You put a 6-year deal with a no-trade clause right in the middle of a potential draft. Are you that dense?
Ugh.
I legitimately think Fenton's playing way over his head.
You think he's doing the same thing Bowman's doing?
Oh.
Yes.
Well, boys.
Yes.
Boys.
Yeah.
I got the perfect front because you know what Minnesota, the management at Minnesota is. With apologies to the monk, they're dummies.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Because of it, you know what? It to soothe your sadness, I think it's time to rise for the anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, let me get that.
Goal!
Where's my liquor?
Down that yaller horn.
It's bad enough that in the NFL I have to deal with Kirk Cousins being trash. Don't try and argue against it. He sucks.
Yep, they're gonna hit a. They're gonna hit. I'm gonna say right now, they're gonna hit a wall. And Green Bay, I think they're gonna hit a wall too.
Only a brick wall could stop you. Its name is the Eagles.
Yep.
So as far as the Central goes, as far as who's my two that I'm picking, I'm going with St. Louis and Colorado.
Same here. I don't
St. Louis for sure. I'm gonna go Nashville though.
You think Nashville still has a shot?
It is the closest. The sure thing is the St. Louis Blues for sure. Winnipeg, they're in cap hell. They're not going to do much. Dallas, they're fucking Dallas.
Yeah, it's a
Colorado was a fringe at best. Nashville, yeah, they have to sort out their power play, and that's a big gamble. But honestly,
they'll make it. But if not, I think Colorado comes in.
I can't put my money on Colorado. Yeah, Winnipeg. Blues for sure. Nashville as a second.
Yeah.
Aaron?
Again, my gut is saying stay away from the Avalanche on this one.
I'm going St. Louis and Colorado because, like I said, that power play fit situation with Nashville and the fact that they're regressing, they'll be lucky if they get second seed in the Western Division.
Oh yeah.
And last we have the Pacific Division. Starting with the little brother complex of the NHL, the Tar Sand Avalanche.
Yes, the Flames.
Oh, yes.
So when I got in a glass of milk, I saw a "Have you seen me?" sign on the thing for Johnny Hockey. So it looks like they're still looking for him.
I knew it.
Yeah. Where were you in the freaking playoffs? Are you trying to be the Canadian equivalent to Tampa Bay?
The Flames were. I do not understand how they ended up choking that bad because the Flames were doing exceptionally well at making me eat shit leading up to the playoffs.
Yeah. And then the playoffs happen. Only a brick wall could stop you. What was the team that eliminated them again?
Its name is the Avalanche.
Yep. I mean, they still have a decent team, but
they've got a good team, but there seems to be some sort of postseason curse with the Flames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened between 89 and now, but yeah.
Wow.
Well, so here's the deal, Calgary. Yeah, you'll be on top of the Pacific, but just sort out that. Just make sure everybody shows up in the playoffs this time.
Donuts. You got to be the donuts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the NHL's bungee cord, San Jose.
Oh boy.
Is it possible for a hockey team to be a butt fumble?
I think so.
I can already hear the mantra of the San Jose Sharks fan. Yeah, we didn't get it done, but next year we'll get it done. You've been saying this for 15 years.
They're more like the Cubs before they won the World Series.
Actually, that'd be I have to wonder if there's some sort of black magic curse that they had to suffer from moving to Cleveland in a past incarnation.
Yep.
It's a very good question, actually.
Yeah. Now San Jose, but then again, considering how the NHL's been going lately, with a couple teams breaking their legacy of failure, why do I get the feeling San Jose might actually do it this season?
I have a hard time believing that, and here's why. They're paying $11 million per year to a guy who was a healthy scratch in Erik Karlsson.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
In fact,
and Erik Karlsson's a great player, but that's
I wouldn't be surprised if he's
going
to be on IR for a long stretch of the year.
So you're playing. So they're paying their player for an injury. Oof. I don't know. Then
yeah,
who knows?
If Karlsson wasn't a scratch on IR, I'd be with you. But that's a key player.
All I gotta say to San Jose is, you better sacrifice a lot of goats.
Well, there's one other problem besides the Erik Karlsson situation, and that is the fact that Peter Dvorak is a stubborn bastard who is clinging to old trends.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you can somehow rein Dvorak in, and if Erik Karlsson actually starts getting healthy, maybe you've got a shot at conference final. But I don't see them going further than that.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. They're not winning the division, but if Karlsson could get healthy enough by All-Star break, there may be a chance, infinitesimal as it may be, that one distant day you might win Ben Stein's Lord Stanley's Cup.
Yeah. I like to stay positive, but let me tell you,
it's a tough ask.
It's a hard sell, but
yeah.
And there's not going to be enough ref puck to save you this time. Speaking of ref puck, let's talk about the team that ended up becoming the hockey equivalent to the Houston Rockets.
Oh boy, Vegas.
It's like, the officials are trash,
team,
and you got jobbed out. Welcome to the NHL, bitch.
Yeah. Last season, I think, was their initiation. What happened was, I think, their inaugural season, they pretty much skipped it.
Beginner's fucking luck, and now they're paying for it.
Yeah, now there's ties to be paid, and now you get and the last season you got your proper initiation. Now the question is, will that said initiation continue this season?
They're in a bad case of cap hell, so it's very.
So the initiation's continuing, right?
Oh yeah.
All I have to say is, Vegas, you're one of us now. How does it feel?
Yep. Welcome to hell, Vegas.
Oh,
one of their hockey team.
Boys. I could settle the Vegas Golden Knights hash with a very simple wrestling catchphrase. If you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Suck it.
Yeah. Well, but don't worry, Vegas. Gruden will be joining you soon.
You know, if the Golden Knights end up having better attendance than the Raiders, I will laugh my ass off.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. You know what? Vegas had a winning team on their first year. That's a lot of faith that they built up, and again, they had a good winning season last year as well. They're on the correct path. They're just going through cap hell, and the Raiders are the Oakland goddamn Raiders. I mean, they tried to rein in Antonio Brown and fucked up. So, Mildred, you say you don't know. You're saying words that are within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, especially since nobody's happy about the move, they cried
not.
poor about both Amari Cooper and about Khalil Mack, who are both on teams that are actually doing well now. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this out here right now. I want to see the same kind of riots in Oakland that we saw in Cleveland 20 years ago.
Oh, when Art Modell moved the Browns. Oh,
Rip seats. I mean, you do know that's the Oakland A's stadium, right? We don't fucking care. Fuck the Raiders.
yeah, but like I said, like you said, the A's play there too, so I don't think they'll be that salty.
There will be trash thrown. I can call that trash.
Oh
will
yeah,
be thrown
Raider
on the
Nation's
field.
gonna be pissed. Like I said, the only move that I think the Raider Nation will only accept is going back to L.A., which they should have done. Have Spanos move to L.A.
Yeah.
But anyway, Vegas.
Fuck you, Spanos.
Vegas is definitely
Fuck you,
hitting the postseason. Whether or not they're going to make it to the finals again, that's iffy.
Yeah,
That's the question mark. That
You're-
is the question mark.
Yeah,
They still, even in Cap Hell, they have a great team put together.
Yeah.
The
At
question mark
120
is,
they're 120. They're going 120 miles an hour right now, but the problem is they're about to hit a wall.
the question is the vehicle strong enough to burst through the wall and get that cup? That's the big question.
So this is pretty much this season. Yeah, you're going through Cap Hell, but this is your last chance to loon.
So next we have the future Houston Coyotes, unless they end up changing the latter part of the name too. But I believe there's Coyotes in Texas, so maybe they'll be fine. The lol cow in the desert. They didn't have a bad. They don't have a bad team. The problem is
That's the good news.
They got fucked hard by the injury gods.
Yeah,
The injury fairy came to visit.
Yeah, these guys won the injury cup last year, sadly.
And for some reason, they're not dead last.
You know what? We'll get to the Kings. We will get to those fuckers.
Oh, definitely.
Again, it's a case of once most of that team that's on IR will probably be healthy enough to play. Now, the question is, can they avoid the curse again?
Well, here's the thing with Arizona. I don't know how the team's gonna play because this could be this season could be the first part of their swan song. I don't know when they're moving. If they're moving next year, yeah, they'll probably phone this one in.
Mm-hmm. We do know that
But
they had gotten a bunch of draft picks for when they do make their move, but it's gonna be one of those where with that move on the horizon, that's gonna be a significant factor in player motivation. So
Yeah, so my theory, they're players. I don't think they're gonna rock the boat.
no, not just yet.
I don't think they're define rock the boat. You know what I mean? If rocking the boat means let's make a deep playoff run so we could send our team off in a positive light, I could see that. But if they don't want to rock the boat and piss off people,
What I mean by rocking the boat is they stay mediocre.
See
They won't finish dead last, but they won't. But the chance of making the playoffs is like, eh.
But next we have God damn it, Benning.
Fucking traitor Jim.
Okay, the sad
I feel bad for my cousins. Like in a couple of weeks, we're going to see each other. Next week, we're going to see each other. And they're still going to be salty about the Vancouver Canucks.
I won't blame them. That team doesn't know what the fuck they want to do.
I'm seeing signs of much. They're in. I think the Canucks are in a similar boat to the Habs. There are pieces that can congeal eventually, but not yet.
Yeah, they got
still
the same
a rebuild. Yeah.
Yeah, they still got leg. Yeah, the problem is Vancouver's got the same leg iron that the Habs have. Only instead of Bergevin, it's Trader Jim.
So because of that, there's also the fact that they still have not fully recovered from the Sedin twins retiring.
Oh yeah.
No, and that's why it's still a rebuild for a while.
Yeah, nuclear salt because the twins are gone.
Which is a shame. For all intents, they were the classiest people who could play.
Agreed.
And it's one of those times where I wish they could have gotten at least one cup. But
yeah,
this is the universe getting its revenge for the riot back
that riot. Yeah. They're still paying tithes for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then the Olympics.
Oh, true.
That was an epic hockey game. And Vancouver still paying tithes for it.
Case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a rebuild.
But now, I don't know about you, but I am in the mood for some roast duck.
Hold on.
Hold on. Shh. Let me just. Okay, my sister's not here. She's a big Anaheim Ducks fan.
Oh god.
Oh no, and it's exactly for the reason you think it is.
It's for the movie.
The fucking movies.
Yep.
The movie. It is.
Turn to a freaking boys club.
Anaheim is not making it. I'm going to be flat out. And the reason why is because
you want to know my prediction for Anaheim? I'll tell you. Here's my prediction. Yep.
That's so fucking
appropriate. Better cry into that. You better cry into that duck confit a bit more, buddy.
Hit it again.
Oh, definitely. Oh, proud to. Oh, yeah. Yep. Your your season future.
No. I almost want to get that song now. I'm sorry. I marked out a little bit. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
Yep. But the reason why I have absolutely no hopes for Anaheim is due to the fact that they pull the same failing that a lot of locales end up pulling. Relying on one player to carry the team on his back, and then he got injured, and the rest of the team fell to shit. Plus, they're still paying ties for the fact that the Ducks are one of the dirtiest teams in the NHL.
Oh, the hockey gods do not appreciate that.
No,
hence they're being punished.
And they're going
the hockey gods show no mercy. Amen. Also.
Amen.
Which leads to
You're not going anywhere, Anaheim. Let's just say that.
You're fucked.
The only upside that you have is that you'll probably once again be able to make us laugh at Calgary for the umpteenth time.
So basically, you're basically foie gras.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yep.
Let's move on to the Al Bundy of the NHL.
Yep, the
Oh,
Edmonton
good Lord.
Oilers.
Yep.
Love and marriage, love and marriage.
Yeah, he's still pining for the days of Gretzky, aren't you, Edmonton?
Actually, I don't know if it's appropriate to call him the Al Bundy of hockey anymore. I mean, Al Bundy's playing for the Steelers now, isn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Considering Captain Fatfuck got injured.
Yep. Captain Fat Fuck, leader of my knee. Oh God, my elbow.
Yep.
Okay.
You ain't the lead. Yep. Was the leader of men.
Okay, the only good thing I'll say about Edmonton's offseason is that the worst that they did was just goalie swapping.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a case of everything's fucked. You gotta start with something.
However, I want to set up a Indiegogo to kidnap Connor McDavid and send him to a real team.
Yes. Connor McDavid, you're too good for that team.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Because
Who knows?
at
You
the
know
rate,
what?
at the rate things are going, they are going to destroy him.
Oh,
They're gonna turn him into the Andrew Luck of hockey, and I am not saying that as a matter of laughing. I'm scared for him if that's the
Yeah, what I'll tell you what, once we get rid of Bowman, we'll send Taves and Kane to kidnap you.
But let me ask you this: do you think Connor McDavid is going to be demanding a trade in the next few months?
I think so.
If things don't go into the winning side, yeah.
And if he ends up going, then any chances they have of getting back into the postseason go with him.
Yep. If McDavid's gone, rev up the tanks.
The question: where do you see him going?
That's actually a good question.
Um,
Probably go to a team that's going to have some upside. So maybe Colorado, if they're not having cap problems.
I'd say Colorado. It's one of those things that would be wide open.
Yeah, there's got to be two criteria.
And
Either A. Yeah.
Sorry, I got to interrupt. Nanopoli is asking if the Penguins have a shot this season. We covered that. The answer is no. We do not have any optimism for the Penguins.
We refer you to the VOD whenever it is available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, getting back to Edmonton. Not Edmonton, McDavid.
Yeah.
It depends on two things: if the team's got a cup upside, or if they're not in cap hell or close to it.
I don't think Edmonton is in cap hell right now. The main issue is the fact that their star player is not happy.
I'm not saying if the Edmonton's in cap hell. I'm saying whatever team goes to, they gotta have a cup ups, either have a cup upside, or they're not in cap hell, or not close to it.
For whatever reason, I'm thinking maybe Calgary, because they're not dealing with too much cap crunch, if I recall.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, they could use a player like him, and it's can you imagine the salt from Oilers fans to see
if he goes to Calgary,
the provincial?
Ooh. There's gonna be nuclear amounts of salt.
In fact, I want that to happen.
Someone from Calgary, go kidnap Connor McDavid. You know what? Better yet, how about this? Let's see here. Have some of the Hart family come drive by.
Get Bruce Hart. He's always
Yeah.
salty.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Shed?
Stretch him. Oh, God.
For those who don't
Either-
know, Shed was Stu Hart's nickname for him.
Yep.
either him or Lance Storm.
No.
Monopoly,
If
as far as the reason why people are doubting Pittsburgh sports teams, the issue mostly has to do with the fact that JR keeps pulling stupid shit, and is trying to go for slower guys while still playing speed. Although Monopoly also says trade McDavid for Crosby. That's not a bad idea, but I like seeing Flyers fans salty at Crosby.
Yeah, really.
not gonna lie though, that's not a bad idea.
No.
Oh God!
No,
Also, why do we doubt Pittsburgh teams? 4 words: days of our Steelers.
Yep. God damn, your ownership
You
situation.
do that
in
shit.
Pittsburgh-
Have fun at the Salt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Pittsburgh right now, their ownership's been taking way too much of that wacky tobacco.
And hey there, Slick Rick. Yes, you are tardy and homosexual.
Yep.
Yep.
And speaking,
But not too late. Not too late. We
Mhm.
still got at least one more team before we shut the thing down.
So the last out of the Pacific we have is the
West Coast Boys Club.
Yep, the LA Kings. So let me get the obvious joke out of the way.
You know what, Monk? I'll make it easier to hate the Kings. Will Wheaton's a fan of them.
Who?
Will Wheaton. Oh yeah. Hardcore King nut.
Shut up, Wesley.
Mario Lemieux is not the problem in Pittsburgh Monopoly.
No.
JR is.
Lemieux is an owner, not he's not the worst part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I got a feeling he's going to have enough of his shit eventually.
Now, as far as the Kings, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They are staying at the bottom. Because
Kings. Dear Kings, you're fucked. Signed, the NHL.
Yep. As long as you got that boys club there, you're not going anywhere.
not only the whole boys club, but also the insistence on extent on. Well, first off, there was the fact that they gave Drew Doughty a ridiculous amount of money.
Oh my God! Really? Oh,
For
God.
for
No.
11 years.
And how old is this guy?
Way too old to be getting an 11-year contract.
This is not me.
Oh, damn it.
Oh shit!
Yo, killing me with this.
Really, Kings?
Robert.
Y'all trying to kill me.
Maybe I should check one of the LA. I guess we're gonna have to check the LA front office is a black book to calm R. Kelly down.
You know, Monk, I'm not gonna lie. I'm amazed it took this long to get an R. Kelly button in.
Yeah, and I just checked. Okay, it wasn't as long as I thought it was, but it's an 8-year contract to the tune of $56 million. At
What
$7
the
million.
hell?
At
That
$7
is a lot of money and
$7 million per year.
A lot of
Oh my God!
A shameful display!
Really, LA? Really, LA? Yeah, I know.
Yup.
He's
I
29
know
years
weed is
old.
legal. I know. How old is he?
29.
Ugh.
You pretty
I know
much got him locked in for the rest of his career, pretty much.
Yeah, I know weed is legal. Oh, boys club, but
Stay off the damn weed. So I'm amazed it took this long to get this one too.
A couple
That's
more
a
questions that
bullshit
Monopoly
contract.
has. As far as the Minnesota Wild, there's nothing's
No.
going to happen on that front as long as Barbecue Bruce is there. Will the Golden Knights make
Yeah.
it? Yes, but it's not going to be as easy as it was 2 years ago. And
It's going to take the moving of heaven and earth to get it going.
Mhm.
Yeah, because they're going through cap hell.
Yeah.
the Kings, they're going to be in the same position that the Red Wings are in, where they're
Yeah.
going to be stuck paying for contracts for people who may have done well in years past, but aren't doing but have been very brittle as time has gone on.
Yeah, and not only that, I think they're out of every team in the NHL, LA is in danger of getting the Bobby Bonilla treatment.
Ooh. When's it Bobby Bonilla Day again?
July 1st.
Yeah, July 1st.
Yay!
I really hope we don't end up celebrating a Drew Doughty Day in a few years. But
That would suck.
the only way you're getting anywhere, LA, is if you start chopping off some heads.
Yep, blow it up. I
Blow
don't
it
mean-
the fuck up.
And I don't mean just the team. I mean everything. Front office, everything. There needs to be a fucking fire sale.
Yep. But as far as the Pacific Division, I think it's going to Vegas and Calgary.
Same here. I mean,
Um,
Vegas is very doubtful, but you know what? They're the least. They're out of all the tire fires in the Pacific Division, they're not nearly as bad.
Yeah.
No.
The reason I'm not going
Actually,
with San Jose is because there are way too many question marks. And Monopoly, the name for the Seattle team has not been announced.
As of yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the time of this recording, we only know that a Seattle team is coming in 2021. There's probably going to be
Yeah.
expansion draft in 2020.
Yeah. So and as far as the rest of the Pacific goes, here's the deal: Arizona ain't gonna go anywhere until they're focusing on their move to Houston. They ain't going anywhere.
This is I'm calling Calgary Vegas with a side bet on San Jose if Carlson makes it by the All-Star break or a little bit after the All-Star break for a playoff push. You know, if you look at the top four on the list here from last year's standings, that's how I see it. Don't know who's going to make it, but honestly, if I were to pick two, Vegas and Calgary are two safe bets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Pacific Division is too much of a dumpster fire right now.
And Monopoly is saying that the Coyotes have Phil Kessel. Yeah, the problem is any success that the Coyotes have, as we mentioned before, is going to depend on whether or not they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
And that's a big question mark.
And he's
Why did
also
JR get rid of Kessel? JR. That's why.
This is after all, JR is the guy who decided to give a bottom sixer a 6-year contract with a no trade clause. A decent bottom sixer. Tanev's not a bad player, but because of that, they ended up fucking over the cap for the Penguins, and they still had 2 RFAs to sign.
Oops.
But the issue that I have with the thing that I'm noticing with the state of the divisions, the Eastern Conference is looking very, very competitive, and there's a lot of X factors and a lot of potential upsets I could see. Whereas the Western Conference, it's still very front loaded.
Yeah, it's complete. Yeah, it's basically dominated by the Central Division again. Because the Pacific Division again, too many dumpster fires.
There's too many dumpster fires, and even the Central Division isn't completely immune to dumpster fires.
Yeah.
The one division that is probably going to be the biggest bloodbath is the Metro.
Oh, definitely.
Like with the Metro, you've got at least four teams that have very strong chances to vie for dominance. Even if some of them are on shakier ground, and at least one of them is a case of boom or bust. The Atlantic Division, I'd say it's really weak.
It's a mess.
It is. I mean, Toronto and Boston are going to be the two that are going to prevail from that division, with Tampa Bay, not too far behind. Everybody else, they're on a rebuild.
Here's the problem with the Atlantic. You can think half the problems on that division because of shitty ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least half the problems.
Western, even though Chicago and Minnesota don't exactly have high hopes, that division I can see a fair bit of competition for the mid tier.
Yeah.
The Pacific, it's a damn clown show.
Yeah, it's shit show.
I would not be surprised if when Arizona ends up moving, they leave the Pacific Division and end up moving to the Central Division, and whatever Seattle team we're getting ends up being in the Pacific.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Also, we've got
it would even out the numbers, actually.
Yeah.
Boys, we got
Each
a bit of an update.
Teams.
The Mets managed to unmet themselves.
Yet, ladies and gentlemen, Seattle suffers another kick to the dick.
What are you talking about, Seattle? We're talking about the Marlins. We're talking about the
Marlins?
The Marlins, yeah.
I thought we were talking about the Mariners.
No, but I may as well check how the Mariners are doing.
But you know what? In celebration of them betting so hard that they actually unmetted. Ah, damn it!
Beat the Mets. Beat the Mets. Step right up and beat the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to get a divorce that night.
Because the Mets are really
The Mets have betted so hard that they actually unmetted themselves.
Let's see. As far as the Mariners, third period against the Astros, scoreless. What am I talking about? Periods.
Oh boy. They're gonna they're gonna kick them in the dick. It's because they're playing the freaking Astros and the Astros
All right.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Before I was so appropriately interrupted, they keep kicking me in the dick. Why?
Yep.
Why do they keep kicking me in the dick?
It's Seattle, that's why.
Yep.
Let's just hope
Owned by Nintendo.
Let's just hope that whatever franchise we end up seeing out of the NHL in Seattle doesn't continue that tradition.
I hope. Because the last thing we need in the Pacific Division is another shit show.
I mean, they're probably going to get their ass kicked the first year because expansion team curse.
Well, yeah, they're not going to get so lucky like Vegas did.
No, I think part of the reason that Vegas ended up doing so well that time was primarily having a coach with a big damn chip on his shoulder.
A chip on his shoulder, and a lot of teams dumping off their excess players, but it turns out It
And
turns out
it's a combination of a coach with a chip on the shoulder, a team with a bunch of players who just want to prove something, and management willing to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically, it was the NHL's equivalent to Moneyball.
Yeah,
Or in this case, this is Money Puck.
And
money buck. Yeah.
Aaron got some bad news. Cubs got
What?
blown out by the Pirates, 2-9.
2-9.
Man
Damn.
is done. Man is gotta go. Man's gotta go. Time to call Girardi.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I swear to God, if they make, listen, I like David Ross, but if they make him manager, then I'm calling the Cubs a boys' club.
Well, it may as well be at this point because with all the talent there, they can't even win against a team that's just death.
Yeah.
But I'd say overall, assuming that there isn't a lockout, this is definitely going to be an interesting year, and I will freely admit that one of the teams that I'm holding out hope for reaching the finals is the Hurricanes, simply so I can see a giant banner outside the stadium saying "bunch of jerks."
Yeah. Yeah. I have one banner that says we're a bunch of jerks, and the other banner that says keep coming to our games.
Keep coming to our game.
But ultimately, it's once again going to be interesting, and I want to make one thing clear. I am fairly willing, ready, and able to eat all the shit that is on the plate in about 5 months, because you're dealing with the most unpredictable league in sport.
Yep.
So I'm fully even though I think there's some good chances that we end up being right. I had thought that it was that the Capitals were going to be in the finals last year, and we saw how that turned out.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe some of the bottom feeders might actually make a cup push.
Mm-hmm. Monopoly, I want to make some clear. There's not really, the only people who really hate on the Hurricanes these days are traditionalists, and it mostly has to do with their celebration and their adopting of the Skull chant.
Oh God.
Including Burke, who decided to cry about it and calling it Pee Wee Playhouse. And he was and he was the one who started by saying they act like a bunch of jerks, and then they decided, you know what, let's put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, so basically that whoosh chant that they do every time the Hurricanes win, yeah, it's basically the Skull chant.
Mm-hmm.
Sell the crap out.
But that's how that whole thing got started. But it'll probably be quite a bit of time before we end up doing another Men Who Stare at Sportsball, and I think in all likelihood it's probably going to be once playoff season happens for some other sports.
Yeah.
I had thought about doing this for the NBA, but I think it's better suited waiting a few months on that. Simply because,
All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
I'd say All-Star Weekend, because then we'd have a good. I'd say doing All-Star Weekend for another sport would be a good call. I will freely admit that if I can get Cast up and running, there is something that I intend on doing in January that is probably gonna piss off wrestling traditionalists.
Oh boy. Oh, you're talking about? Oh, you thinking about doing a WrestleMania season?
No, not WrestleMania. I said
What?
January.
Tokyo.
season.
Mostly because there is one match I'm looking forward to that is a case of Minoru, you might have fucked up.
Oh,
Yeah, and I think this year's Wrestle Kingdom, it might be pretty. It's going to be huge. I think it's going to be pretty huge because who knows? Maybe AEW might get involved. Who knows?
That's still up in the air. Monopoly is asking
Yeah.
Red Wings and Penguins tomorrow. What's any predictions? I'm going with Penguins.
Yeah. Fucking Penguins.
That seems to be the most likely scenario because, like I said, I don't see the Red Wings going far. They're in a long-term build, but that is going to wrap it up when it comes to this iteration of the Men Who Stare at Sportsball. It's like I said, it's going to be the last one for a while. There will be another iteration in the future because I'm actually having fun doing this, and it's kind of a pressure release since in a lot of the other shows we don't get as much of an opportunity to talk about sports unless we're talking about clown shows. I mean, we talk about clown shows in this, but not to the same extent.
But who knows? Who knows what happens with the NFL? I got a feeling I think for some reason, the AB thing's going to be pretty much the best we're going to get, but who knows? It's the Shield.
We'll definitely be keeping an eye out. And of course, tomorrow, if all goes as planned, we'll be returning with the premiere that was supposed to happen last week if I didn't have my eye injury flare up that day.
Yeah, you took the Big Boss challenge.
And because we are going to finally start the gears of revolution with Zeitgeist. And finally and do the grandest demonstration that I can that a lot of the complaints people had about 4th edition hold no weight. But of course, I may end up doing something on Thursday or Friday. I don't know. And of course, there will be Monastery Live on Sunday. On Saturday, I do have the review for Dungeon Slayers up. That's gonna be hitting then, and it's gonna be a nice little beer and pretzels thing before I get to the heavier stuff with TSR month in October. And for anybody who's asking, I am not going to talk about D&D with TSR month. That would break my rules. Also, fuck the WotC. But until next we meet, on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody.